thanks for joining us. This is Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguele. Following the decision by the federal government to add 35,000 naira to the wage of each federal worker, leaders of the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress have met in Abuja to review the federal government's offer. Our Labour correspondent, Joseph Otsen, joins us live now from the Labour House here in Abuja to give us an update on the Labour Union's meeting. Joseph, please give us the update you have at this time.
All right, Ruth, NLC actually held a virtual meeting today. That meeting started around 12 noon, and they concluded it at around 3:30 this afternoon. The president of NLC, with a few other officials, they held their own the meeting here in his own office, while others joined virtually. They came out, two of the officials came out here, and I spoke with them, and they said they have reached some decisions, and they will be briefing the representatives of the federal government later in the day. TUC is also supposed to have their own meeting too. I suspect that will be virtually too. But we are here at the Labour House. That's for now. Yesterday after Labour met with the representatives of the federal government, they decided that they will have to reach out to other members of the NEC before they will take decisions. Some key agreements were reached by the federal government yesterday, which included 35,000 naira wage award, and then waiver of VAT on diesel for 6 months, and then the commence payment of 75,000 naira to 50 million households, and many other decisions were reached. But Labour have met. They have discussed with other members of the NEC, and they have come up with they have made their stands, but that stand they will brief the representatives of the federal government later at the State House.
Okay, Joseph, if I get you correctly, I'm sure you meant to say 15 million household. And following what you've just given us concerning the update, did you get any information after the virtual meeting by the NLC, pending the meeting for the TUC? Did they speak to the press? Do we have any substantive agreement yet?
No, the few members I spoke with here, they didn't give details of what this is. There's no way they will give us, they said there was no way they will give me any information regarding that, except they brief the representatives of the federal government. So they are holding on back to their stance, and then they're waiting. They say when they are done, when they meet the representative of the federal government, when they come to any agreement, they will now brief the press. But for now, there's no information out yet.
All right, Joseph, thank you very much for that update. We'll definitely connect with you subsequently. Thank you. Still on the Labour matter, earlier talking about yesterday, the federal government and leadership of the trade unions deliberated on how to address the dispute arising from the removal of fuel subsidy. And following that, following the provisional agreement between the two parties, it was agreed that the federal government would implement 35,000 naira as provisional wage award for all Treasury-paid federal government workers for 6 months, following further consultation with President Bola Tinubu. That the federal government would also fast-track provision of compressed natural gas buses to ease public transportation difficulties associated with the removal of fuel subsidy, among other agreements. The president of the NLC, Joe Aguele, also spoke on behalf of Labour.
Worker, the average Nigerian worker, pertinent issues, I can't begin to reel them out here. But I am happy to say that after 4 hours, we have reached certain agreements that inure to the benefit of the Nigerian worker. Agreements on wage bill, agreements on committees, on salary increment, agreements on the CN buses, agreement on several other things, I believe. both TUC, Labour, and government side. We will, hopefully, we expect that Labour will call a meeting of their various branches and executive tomorrow to present the agreements that have been reached. And we pray and we believe and we hope that the strike will be called off on Tuesday.
We have looked at almost all the issues, all the promissory notes, from the government. And we looked at how to translate them to reality, and to be workable. And then we're going to take those promises to our organs. Of course, these people here cannot just wake up and review and call off action. So, like he said, we're hopeful that our organs will have a look at them and give us a fresh mandate on what next to do.
Minister of Information and Culture, Mohammed Idris, in a statement after the meeting said all the parties agree that implementation of the agreement would be more effective when workers are at work. We turn to tribunal issues. The Nasarawa State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, sitting in Lafia, has nullified the declaration and return of Governor Abdullahi Sule. The tribunal, in a split judgment of 2-1, declared David Ombugadu, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, as the duly elected governor of Nasarawa State. The Justice Ezekiel Ajayi-led tribunal, in the split verdict, agreed that the election was won by the PDP. In the result declared by INEC after the March 18 governorship election, Governor Sule polled 347,209 votes to defeat his closest opponent, Ombugadu, who secured 283,016 votes. In another development, coalition of APC progressive stakeholders have condemned the anti-judiciary protest in London by 8 member card carriers of the New Nigeria People's Party against the judgment of the Governorship Election Tribunal outcome in Kano State. Our political correspondent Abubakar Akwanga has details of the report and other developments.
The judgment day of 19th September 2023 of Kano Governorship Election Tribunal may have come and gone, but the reaction by some NNPP members is now being manifested in the street of London. This, the coalition of APC progressive stakeholders say it is unacceptable, as Nigerian judiciary should be dignified for stabilizing democracy and upholding the rule of law.
It is barbaric and indeed archaic for the NNPP to tour the path of blackmailing, calling for justice in a faraway London when justice has already been served.
In another development, the National Coalition Against Terrorism has urged security agencies to put activities of the proscribed IPOB on check and ensure safety of judges at the Abia State Governorship Election Tribunal sitting in Umuahia.
The coalition therefore urged the leadership of the judiciary to immediately direct the delivery of judgments in Abia State Election Petition Tribunal to be delivered through electronic means, and also evacuate all its staff out of Abia State to return the integrity of the judicial institution.
The coalition also condemned series of unprovoked attacks on convoy of government officials, security personnel, commercial and other public places, which they say constitute major threat to democracy. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
As Nigeria celebrates 63rd independence anniversary, One Nation for Asiwaju support group has expressed confidence that the Tinubu presidency has the capacity to leave a better Nigeria than it met it. The group, under its Director General Mohammed Dagachi, says recent policies and programs rolled out by the government demonstrate strong will to surpass previous records. The group also commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's pronouncement of the provisional increment in some workers' salaries and appealed for a more elaborate package to guarantee financial security.
This work to achieve the real essence of the process, to ensure proper order and procedure, a democratic process and governance, the judiciary and the security personnel must be well taken care of.
Give 100% plus one support to the development of this government and ensure that the good thing that is coming out from this government is seen to happen in a no distance term. There is an ambition, there is a good concept in the strategies that is already embedded in the present government.
The Director General also urged the President and party leadership to accommodate all interests in the smooth running of the administration, strengthen economic reform policies, and sustain war against corporate corruption. The Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, Nigeria First and One Nigeria groups have aligned with President Bola Tinubu's position that this year Nigeria passed a significant milestone in the journey to a better nation by democratically electing a 7th consecutive civilian government. By this, they believe that Nigeria has indeed proven that commitment to democracy and the rule of law remains a guiding light. Timothy Yusuf reports.
63 years of nationhood and 24 years of unbroken democracy deserve commendation according to the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC.
We know of nations that today are disintegrated as a result of lack of cohesion. But in spite of the challenges Nigeria is facing, we are waxing stronger in terms of the fact that we are still one and will continue to be one.
Chairman Board of Trustees of Nigeria First Foundation and former Inspector General of Police, Michael Kiru, believes that President Tinubu deserves the support of all Nigerians.
Let's believe more in our uniqueness and strength in diversity. There is hope at the end of the tunnel. While we thank His Excellency President Bola Tinubu for his renewed hope agenda, most assuredly, in the spirit of togetherness, we can make it.
One Nigeria group also joined President Tinubu in thanking members of the dynamic civil society organizations and labor unions for their dedication to Nigerian democracy.
We need to unite ourselves. In fact, unity of this country is the most significant thing. This unity, division, will not take us anywhere.
A renewed national patriotism drive to move Nigeria forward is the way to go. IPAC, Nigeria First campaign, and One Nigeria group re-emphasized. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
One major convergent point that plays host to fund seekers, irrespective of tribe, tradition, ethnic groups and even religious institutions, is the National Theatre, Igamu, in Lagos. As Nigeria celebrates her 63rd anniversary, Diana Aguele takes a look at how this monument is keeping to that in which the edifice was established for, especially how it has helped shape unity and diversity by bringing people together in its unique way.
Built in 1976 under the military government of Nigeria as a focal point for the celebration of Nigeria arts and culture, the multipurpose monument National Theatre proudly sits on an area of about 23,000 square meters, standing 31 meters tall, was also established for the purpose of preservation, presentation, and promotion of the nation's arts and culture. Over the years, the beautiful edifice has remained one of the crucial symbols of Nigeria's journey so far that has shaped unity in diversity through stage plays that showcase the nation's rich cultural heritage.
One can only point back to the type of program over time, what we used to do in the past and what we do now. In terms of the establishment's growth, we'll need more.
It is hoped that the creative industry practitioners would make more use of it in promoting the nation's rich cultural heritage while emphasizing unity in diversity for the benefits of the upcoming generation. In Lagos, Diana Aguele, NTA News.
Since its establishment, talking about the National Theatre, it has been a symbol of Nigeria's development and unity, of course. Our correspondent Aguele is at that edifice right now in Lagos to give us an update on the state of affairs there. Aguele, please go ahead.
Thank you, Ruth. You're right. I am presently at the National Theatre, Igomu, Lagos. As you can see behind me, this edifice called the National Theatre Lagos was built by a Bulgarian company, and I'm sure a lot of people do not know that it is a copy of a Bulgarian theatre in Oslo, with the imposing military cap there waiting for people to come and see Nigeria's culture and rich traditional heritage. Now this place houses a lot of other organizations here. For the last 3 to 4 years, it has been undergoing renovation, and it has been a public-private partnership kind of arrangement to put this edifice back on track to what it was in 1977 when it hosted the first edition, the first event it held here on completion was the Festec 77. And to talk more about what has been happening here since it was closed to the public, it's the Director of Production Services of the National Theatre, Abiodun Abe. He will be telling us what has actually been happening here at the National Theatre while the renovation is going on. Thank you for joining us on the news.
Yeah, thank you very much, Aguele.
So what would you say has been happening here since the federal government, in partnership with the Bankers Committee and, of course, the CBN, started the renovation here?
Yeah, thank you very much. I need to say that the renovation that is ongoing has not limited us in any way. As usual, of the new management of the National Theatre under the leadership of Professor Sunday NSC Ododo, who will always think out of the box to make things happen. We've been doing things to the extent that we created a maquette that can serve as a temporary performance venue to host so many events. You'll agree with me that things have been happening. You yourself have come to cover quite a lot of events here, from the production that mark the usual February 14 love thing, and recently the visit of the Israeli group from Tel Aviv that came to perform Wole Soyinka's The Road in their language, though. Once again, theater proved to people that language is not a barrier, to understanding issues.
Okay, as Nigeria is celebrating her 63rd independence anniversary, how would you say that the National Theatre, as a symbol of unity and diversity, lived up to its name?
Yeah, the National Theatre is actually a symbol of unified identity of the cultural and theatrical performance as a Nigeria, for Nigeria as a state, as a nation state. Things have been happening from inception. It has lived to its function of unifying all the various tribes that we have. If you look at productions that have happened at the National Theatre in the past, it goes across all tribes and regions, from the Igbo to the North to the Yorubas. It has played host to Ovorama Nogbaisi, to Tafida, written by Yerima, Langbodo, Ovorama, and the rest of them. Okay. So it cuts across all regions.
So it's not because that is in Lagos, it's only for the Yorubas, it's for Nigeria as a whole?
No, you will agree with me that theatre itself actually has the potentials or has the capacity to unite. Okay. Whether theatre as a structure or theatre as the content that comes inside it, as a content for performance, it has the capacity to unite people. If you look at the cast that you put together to do a production, it cuts across all tribes and regions. And if you look at the audience that even make up the viewership of the performance.
Okay, because of time, we won't be able to go deep into it. But Ruth, let me inform you quickly before I hand back to you that there is going to be a hub here. One will be for fashion, another will be for ICT, film, and of course music hub where people can come in to develop their talent. And it also houses other institutions of the federal government here at the National Theatre, Igbomo, Lagos. A whole lot is also a relaxation spot. I will not forget to add that to it. So it's back to you, Ruth. Happy Independence once again.
Happy Independence, Adiola. I could feel your enthusiasm. I know you can't wait, just like other Nigerians, to see the National Theatre come back to its past glory. We want to see that reawaken. Thank you very much. All right, and still in the spirit of the Independence Anniversary celebration, Nigerians in the United Kingdom have also expressed their joy in the resilience and abiding spirit of the Nigerian character. Let's see that.
Talking about the 63rd Independence Anniversary of Nigeria, we interacted with a couple of Nigerians a few hours ago, and here are some of the aspirations and dream of Nigeria they shared with us. Take a listen.
Happy Independence to Nigeria at 63. I want to use this opportunity to ask our leaders to lead us in fairness, in justice, and in equity. I want to also ask our leaders to provide jobs for every Nigerian to have a good quality of life.
I wish for Nigeria to have good infrastructural developments. And I also wish for Nigeria to make sure we have diverse, inclusive society. And also, we should also have environmental sustainability. In Nigeria at 63, we should have economic prosperity, a thriving economy that all Nigerian citizens will be able to survive and have so many things going on with them.
Happy birthday, Nigeria. My wish for Nigeria is that love and light would be restored to Nigeria. Selflessness, peace restored to Nigeria. To the government, I would say that it's not about you, it is about the people. You know, that you would do what would make the people remember you for good, and so that you can have peace.
I wish Nigerian peace, Nigerian progress, Nigerian success, and I want to enable my able President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let us be patient with him. Let us believe in his dreams. Renew hope is reality. So let's follow his roadmap. I believe he's going to take us to the promised land.
In spite of our challenges, the consensus of Nigerians here in the UK is that we can and we shall forge ahead as one indivisible country in fulfillment of the aspiration of our founding fathers to build a nation where justice, love, peace and unity shall reign. Again, in the words of our national anthem, arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call, obey.
Indeed, Wale, thank you very much. And let's take a trip back to Lagos. This time round, we're joining Michael to pick up with more reports. Michael?
Thank you, Ruth. President Bola Tinubu's independence speech is a demonstration of genuineness and determination to deliver on the renewed hope agenda. A cross-section of Nigerians who commended the president's commitments to national development said matching words with action remain critical in tackling various problems facing the nation. Amaka O reports.
Nigeria's 63rd year as a nation calls for proactive steps as stated by the president in his Independence Day address. In reassuring Nigerians who are not only full of expectations, the president announced the introduction of provisional wage increment for the next 6 months.
The broadcast by the president gave Nigerians some hope, maybe not unexpectedly because the government itself came on the campaign of renewed hope. So yes, it's commendable. there was hope. So that all the programs that they have outlined, all the issues they have outlined by this government, and perhaps the past one that they also feel are beneficial to the people, they begin to roll them out now.
The president made us understand that he is not oblivious of some of the challenges and plights of Nigerians ever since the subsidy was removed. And he also made us understand that he's not folding his arms to watch Nigerians suffer.
He has initiated some of his economic reforms, lauded our democratic journey, and also talked about what he intended to ameliorate the suffering of Nigerian masses.
The President's address also provided optimistic assurances in the areas of stemming the tide of inflation, strengthening the economy, tax reforms, increasing production, tackling poverty and insecurity, among other public sector reforms.
He mentioned the fact that the report of the forensic investigation at the central bank will soon be out, and that the intention is to ensure that the central bank does not get involved in those things that are found to be wrong therein now.
The president spoke about how much he's doing to ameliorate the sufferings of the people. He spoke about the introduction of the CNG buses, which I consider a step in the right direction. When the buses come in, I think it will bring down the cost of transportation, especially for those who commute across the land by buses.
Nigerians continue to have faith in the present administration as they look forward to brighter days in the near future. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
Not less than 350 Christian pilgrims have been airlifted from the Murtala Muhammad International Airport in Lagos to Israel and Jordan to take part in the spiritual exercise at the Holy Land. Adeola Komiakere reports that a special service was organized by the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Welfare Board in Lagos.
These 350 pilgrims are the fifth batch to travel from Nigeria to Jerusalem this year.
For me, it is a very, to make it real, what I read in the Bible. And it's a spiritual experience that I will never forget.
The service is to commit their journey to the hands of God, while reminding them of their sacred responsibility in the Holy Land. Executive Secretary of the National Pilgrims Commission, Reverend Yakubu Pam, urged the intending pilgrims to use their time in the Holy Land to intensify prayers and intercede for Nigeria, especially as she marks her 63rd independence anniversary.
Pray for our country that God will help us to overcome all the crises that we are witnessing day by day. I believe that this batch of the pilgrim is going to come back with a very good news.
Special Advisor, Governor of Lagos State on Religious Matters, Bukola Adeleke, who conveyed the governor's message, appealed to the intending pilgrims to conduct themselves as good ambassadors and prayed for a successful journey.
You are not representing your family alone. You are representing Lagos State. You are representing the body of Christ.
So far, over 6,000 Christian pilgrims in Nigeria have traveled to Jerusalem for holy pilgrimage this year. In Lagos, Adeola Komiakere, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Lagos. Time now for some messages. Nationwide, we continue in Maiduguri shortly. Please stay.
In a nation rich with culture, diversity, and resilience, we come together to celebrate a significant milestone. On the 1st of October, Nigeria marks its 63rd independence anniversary, a journey of growth and progress under the banner of democracy. For 63 years, the power to choose our leaders has rested in the hands of the people. Democracy has been our guiding light, shaping the destiny of a great nation. Through the highs and lows, Nigeria's democracy has thrived, a testament to the resilience of its people. Under democracy, Nigeria has made remarkable strides in economic development, infrastructure and technology becoming a force to be reckoned with on the global stage. Today, with the renewed hope agenda rolled out, more is expected and will be accomplished for our great good. Nigerians arise, roll out the drums and merry, 63 and counting, more blessings and counting. Happy Independence, Nigeria.
She wants the kids to come for holiday.
Do you know the kind of things you see in the village? Big masquerade. Oh, that's good! Grandma! Local grandsons of yours told me about your mischiefs. I did not believe it because I know I raised you people well.
Where are you coming from and why is your face like this?
My teacher said that ulcer is dangerous.
Do you think you'll be able to cope?
Why not? But wait.
You came back so late today. What happened? I'm a Superman! Get up!
You're nothing.
When you think about hospitality and affordable luxury away from home, then you talk about Sharon Ultimate Hotels, a secured and serene environment that offers kingly services such as 24-hour room service, impeccable security with CCTV surveillance, parking lots, free Wi-Fi internet service, free complimentary breakfast, restaurants that offers continental and local dishes, well-equipped fitness center with instructors, swimming pool, 350 capacity multi-purpose hall, laundry service, pastry corner, mini mart, and our suites are breathtaking. For reservation, locate us at plot 1710, Tafawa Balewa Way, Area 3, Garikia, Abuja. Sharon Ultimate Hotels, the ultimate place.
Thanks for still being there. Nationwide will now continue from Maiduguri. 500 women in Borno State have received special palliative in commemoration of Nigeria at 63. The distribution was carried out by the wife of Borno State Governor, Dr. Falmata Babagana Umara Zulum, at the Government House, Maiduguri. Pauline Kujivana has more on the story.
It was an expression of joy and happiness amongst the 500 women selected from across Borno State, having received cash transfer of 100,000 naira and 50 kg bag of rice each, which they described as unprecedented.
This is the first time that we are witnessing this type of generosity.
Wife of Borno State Governor Dr. Falmata Babagana Umara Zulum said the palliative targeted the women across the state as they defied all odds to stand tall and bright to share the ideals of women emancipation and empowerment through good governance at all levels.
It gladdens my heart and encourages my soul to do more whenever and wherever I see women coming together to make their lives or that of their fellow women either through politics or organizational means for the better.
State APC Chairman Bello Ayuba and Commissioners of Women Affairs Zuera Gambo and that of Poverty Alleviation Sayin Abuba, among other speakers, said Zulum-led administration recognizes and appreciates the role women play in all spheres of human endeavor and will continue to support and give them desired opportunities and support to excel.
We really appreciate the government's effort. It will go a long way in alleviating the suffering of the common man.
And for the government of His Excellency Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, every day is palliative day.
This is our first batch, which the governor said very soon we are also going to launch the second, third batch, maybe up to fourth batch.
This is part of Women Economic Empowerment Program by Borno State Government and it is intended to be in batches in sustenance of palliative to cushion the economic hardship of the people. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
Away from that now, to tell you that in its drive for sustainable humanitarian services to victims of crisis, the International Committee of Red Cross has scaled up training for doctors and nurses, as well as surgical care for victims of armed conflict and other vulnerable persons within and outside Borno State. Ijapari Joseph will now tell us more.
Enhancing surgical care for victims of armed conflicts and reviving the healthcare system weakened by prolonged security challenges, particularly tertiary healthcare providers within and outside the state, are major preoccupations of the International Red Cross. Hospital Administrator of the Red Cross, Abdul Ella Sheikh, while leading the media on tour of the surgical unit, disclosed that the capacity building initiative is geared towards upscaling knowledge and skills of the local doctors and nurses for life saving.
We work in collaboration with our other colleagues from the different departments, and we refer cases according to the needs of our patient.
The equipment to use as that are not available here, we saw them coming with it. Now we have opportunities to see most of the equipment.
He confirmed that since the establishment of the surgical unit by RCRC in the State Specialist Hospital Maiduguri in 2015, more than 19,000 surgeries have been carried out. Emergency surgical care for blast and gunshot injuries, in addition to clinical support from pharmacy and blood bank, are being provided free to patients who acknowledge that such services are beyond their financial status. The SCRC project is working in collaboration with the Physical Rehabilitation Center of the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital in Maiduguri. Japari Joseph, NTA News.
And those are the latest stories for now from Maiduguri. Ruth in Abuja has more reports for us.
Thank you very much, Abubakar. Professor Emeritus Umaru Shehu is dead. He died today at the age of 96. Our correspondent, Mijama Adamu, files in this report on the life of the world-renowned physician, Professor Emeritus Umaru Shehu.
Professor Emeritus Umaru Shehu is a distinguished Nigerian physician of global repute. Educated at universities of Ibadan and Liverpool in the United Kingdom, Professor Umaru Shehu was a distinguished fellow of the National Postgraduate Medical College. His extensive clinical experience in community medicine has been of great value to global health pursuit, in addition to being a stimulating asset to his successful tenure in many institutions he managed. Between 1978 and 1980, he was the Vice Chancellor of University of Nigeria in Nsukka and Chairman Board of Management of the University College Hospital, Ibadan, in 1991 to 1994. He was also Pro-Chancellor and Chairman Governing Council of Bayero University, Kano, and the University of Lagos between 1993 and 1999. He was a one-time Chairman of the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA. At the global front, Professor Emeritus Umaru Shehu was a one-time President of the Academy of Science and consultant to the World Health Organization. Professor Shehu held the national honor of Commander of the Federal Republic, CFR, a world-renowned scholar with many publications to his credit and membership of international and local professional bodies. The late Professor Emeritus is a renowned scholar with many publications to his credit and membership of international and local professional bodies. In Maiduguri, Mijama Adamu, NTA News.
No doubt he lived a fulfilled life and left footprints in the sands of time. We join our correspondent live now in Maiduguri, Mohammed Guni, who is at the late professor's residence at this moment. He wants to give us an update. Mohammed, please go ahead.
We're at the family residence of the late Professor Umaru Shehu, and dignitaries from all walks of life and sympathizers have continued to troop into the family house to pay their last respect and to attend the funeral prayer. Those on ground already are members of the academic community as well as members of the health profession. They are all here to pay their last respect. Most of them have described the demise of the late professor as a great loss and has created a vacuum that is difficult to fill. Standing here with me is a family member who is going to talk to us about the demise of their father. We've just all received the sad news of the demise of the late professor, described as a rare gem in the country. What, as family member, what do you have to say?
Well, this is a sad day for us, not only the family, the state, the country, and even the world at large. This is a sad news, and I'm just speechless. All I have to say is may his soul rest in peace, and may Allah give us the strength to bear this great loss.
The late professor has left a lot of legacies, not only for the family to emulate, but all Nigerian youth today. Is there anything you can remember that has already impacted on your life as a person?
Well, for me as a person, I grew up with him. So I've learned a lot from him. He sponsored me through all my life. So that's example of the things he does. And even in this house, you see children all around. He takes care of all of us, and well, that's part of the kind of person he is.
Yeah. Vice President and other dignitaries are being awaited for the funeral, and very soon the professor will be laid to rest here in Maiduguri. It's from Maiduguri, it's back to the studio.
Thank you very much, Mohammed Goni. May Allah grant him eternal rest. Dele Alake is a public relations expert, but his appointment as a Minister of Solid Minerals Development is not misplaced, as he takes deliberate steps to make the sector more attractive and next to crude oil in terms of revenue generation. In this report, Mia Ogidi recalls some of the reassuring statements from the Dele Alake and the position of industry players.
Dele Alake, given the portfolio as Solid Minerals Minister. Many were astonished because the assumption was that he would be the Information Minister. Yes, a surprise to many, but not a surprise to Dele Alake because he has passion for the sector.
Most people had pigeonholed me for the Information Ministry, and so we decided to shock everybody. But my modus operandi is results. Whoever doesn't shape in, ships out.
Talking bold, Dele is set to deal with anyone not minding who is mining, inasmuch as such person is an intruder in the sector.
30 days grace to join a miners cooperative or find another vocation to do.
30 days deadline for illegal miners to pack and relocate has expired. This is the new gold mine for the Nigerian economy. Alake alerts the nation.
The petroleum industry is on a downward trend. Now, what is the next fundamental economic growth factor for Nigeria? Is solid minerals.
Dele's deliberate moves align with the fathers of the industry.
They are formalizing this artisanal miners because they are the one that constitute the operation constitutes a lot of illegality and environmental degradation. We are engaging them in some sort of enlightenment programs for them to cooperate among themselves, form cooperatives, and obtain the necessary papers.
A lot of fresh energy is already demonstrated by past ministers in reforming the solid mineral sector. Will Dele make a deal that will be different from his predecessors? Till then, I am Mia Ogidi trusting Dele makes the sector proud.
Thank you, Mia. Within the last 8 months of 2023, Kebbi State has lost more lives on the waterways than on the roads. Now, this is alarming and a source of worry not only to the communities at the riverine areas, but the state at large. Abdullahi Mohammed Bawa tells us more about this.
The first boat mishap in Kebbi State this year occurred in Samanaji, where over 100 lives were lost. The second disaster is that of Yawuri, which also claimed over 100 lives. Recently, 4 other people were submerged and their dead bodies recovered after a boat mishap in Suru local government area. There are also pockets of other boat mishap that have gone unrecorded.
So from what I was told, the boat capsized, and that was how I lost my 5 children. I rescued some in my boat, and my own boat capsized too. So we are more than 100 in the boat. So a lot of people died.
It is a tragic incident, but we receive it as a destiny from the Almighty Allah. May God forgive their shortcomings.
The Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, in a bid to reduce the incident, distributed life jackets to boat users and communities under HYPADEC jurisdiction. The Kebbi State government has at different times also embarked on sensitization to also reduce the trend, but this is not yielding results.
Assuring you, within the course of the year,
more life jackets will be procured and distributed to the communities.
Although the rainy season is gradually fading away, the year has not ended, and who knows what may come next. In Birnin Kebbi, Abdul Muhammad Bawa, NTA News.
The reoccurring boat mishaps in Kebbi State is definitely begging for attention. We join Iyabode Olorun Shola at Duku River in Birnin Kebbi Live, where she's going to tell us the updates she has at this time. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Ruth. In the last 8 months, over 250 people have been lost to the waterway in Kebbi State. This is not to mention those whose boats have capsized without any record or any mention. The reasons for this boat mishap is: 1, the boats are usually overloaded with passengers who cannot swim. Many of them are not even wearing life jackets. Another reason is that the boats many times are old in nature, and sometimes they come across ecological reasons like weed taking over the boat or hitting a rock that they cannot see below the water. Sometimes it is weather. A strong windstorm or a rainstorm turns the boat. But the major challenge is that there is nothing to control the loss of lives on the waterways in Kebbi State. I met a public analyst who has gone into, he's also concerned about the number of people who are dying on the waterways every day. And he has been researching on how we can resolve this issue. Good afternoon, Shamsuddin.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I know you are bothered about the number of people who are dying on the waterways, and you have been working on it. So please tell us, what have you come up with?
Yeah, of course, as you know, as human being, even if it is one life lost, is something that is certain people, but let alone more than that. So as you have repeated earlier, definitely Kebbi State is a riverine area where there are a lot of rivers that cut across the state. So definitely, as you have reported, there are a lot of life lost in the boost mishap in Kebbi State. And one of the major factor that you have mentioned is that there are no strict regulation employed in order to guide the operators of these ferry activities. So with these instances, I think both the 3 tiers of government that are responsible for this, particularly the Ministry of Transportation and National Inland Waterways Agency, need to come off with something reviewed that will make sure that there are stiff laws that will guide transportation of canoes on the water side of Kebbi State. Providing life jackets is not only enough. There needs to be staff there at the water side to guide, to make sure that these operators are not involved in illicit drugs that will make them to be involved in reckless driving. Apart from that, also to monitor the issue of overcrowding on the boat, and also the issue of using old canoes that are not maintained, which normally cause this kind of accident. But above all, I think it is high time for us in this part of the country to make sure that there is water lifeguard as in advanced country or in southern part of the country in Niger Delta. Offices.
Okay, thank you. I know you have so much to give us, and I will be seeing more of you. Nationwide will take a break now, and it will continue in Sokoto.
In a fleeting moment, our journey of 63 years began, a tale woven in the fabric of a single day. Through tempests and tranquility, we've stood united, an unbreakable bond that time can't fray. Our diversity is a vivid mosaic, each thread weaving an attraction so divine. In our multitude, we find our strength, the envy of every horizon we align. As we count the years in numbers, our growth is witnessed, steadfast and sure. Let the drums resonate, a redeeming celebration as Nigeria turns 63. Our aspirations ever pure. Happy Independence, Nigeria.
stable of Adnam Communications comes this very hilarious TV comedy, Downtown, starring Jide Kosoko.
I don't want you here Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Binta Yomogaji.
Is it not my hand you swear?
Helen Paul.
I would like it when I contoss my nose and I say, son, open the gate.
And many of your favorite actors. Downtown is showing on this station.
Presents In My Closet. Two rivaling powerhouses are brought together by a brief desired by all ad agencies.
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to your boss.
A ruthless businesswoman and mother
I'm allowed to have friends and hang out.
Fire!
contends with a bullish commanding go-getter.
Produce the best.
Their children are driven leaders but allow pleasures.
We need to lay low for now, because I don't boast.
In My Closet, the brief.
In Sokoto. Sokoto State Government is determined to execute programs aimed at improving well-being of the people of the state. State Deputy Governor Idris Muhammad Gobir stated this at an event to celebrate 63 years of Nigeria's independence. Las Abdullahi completes the report.
State Deputy Governor Idris Muhammad Gobir rejoiced with people of Sokoto State and Nigerians on the celebration of Nigeria at 63. He commended the nation's founding fathers for their sacrifices to the nation. Idris Muhammad Gobir said government will not relent in making life bearable for the people of Sokoto State. He applauded efforts of security personnel fighting insecurity in the state, restating continued support to enable them protect the lives and the property of the people.
Like every nation, Nigeria is not exceptional, as it has recorded numerous achievements.
Commissioner Ministry for Home Affairs, Sokoto State, Sharibu Abubakar Kamarawa, described the event as an opportunity for young generations to recognize the sacrifices made by the founding fathers for the greatness of Nigerians and Nigeria. Featured at the event was special parade and the presentation of 18-seater bus to the Nigeria Labour Congress Sokoto State chapter. Prayers were also offered at mosques and churches for a peaceful, prosperous nation as part of activities to commemorate Nigeria's independence. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
From Sokoto at the moment, it's now back to Ruth in Abuja.
Thank you very much, Sadia. And that's where we say we're done with Nationwide. Thank you very much for your company. Do have a beautiful evening ahead. I'm Ruth Aguele. Bye.